Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's season 2, episode 3, entitled Hollow Bones. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. Back to ABC displays on the screen. Bobby has returned to New York and he's walking and thinking, giving every letter of the alphabet some sort of definition. J is for justice, K is for king, who is righteous and a righteous guide. L is for love and understanding. And as he continues to walk, a group approaches him, asking him where he's going and what's in the bag. Bobby is honest and tells him that it's records. They get closer, about to take his stuff, but some women pass by and they're distracted. Art on the wall influences Bobby even more to be inspired and to press forward. On the screen next, bilingual English is displayed on the screen. We hear a voiceover of Divine. All SSPs must be in compliance with the Article 104 and 110 of Title 28 of New York City Administrative Code, in addition to the minimum content of the safety plan submissions industry notice. They pan over to Divine reading the information on the construction site, and he's thinking, does anybody actually read this information? Even understand it? Divine even starts to understand that even handling certain materials with delicacy is important, but the other employee could care less, and he's really just not handling the sheets carefully. Vine and a co-worker sit down listening to some guru as his co-worker draws, and they start to eat their lunch. Their boss Greg walks up and they start to put everything away, but he's like, no, don't get up on my account. Relax, don't rush. He even tells them that they can chill, all of that sir stuff. He had enough of being called sir when he served in Nam. He even compliments the co-worker that, man, I heard you could DJ, but I didn't know you could draw too. He tells him that he's older and he just wants to build while he still has the energy. That second act is something to be proud of, he tells Devon. After Greg leaves, the fellas are happy that they have such a chill boss, and how out of all the jobs that they've had, he's the best one. Ironically, the same guy that Vine warned about the safety hurts his leg by dropping something, and he limps away. Vine gets home and starts to wind down after a hard day's work, and he observes people still slanging outside the window. He sees Bobby taking a nap and observes his current reading material. He takes a listen while Bobby is asleep to some of the music that he's cooking up, and Vine is impressed. Bobby wakes up and asks him what he thinks and lets him know that, hey man, you can be a part of this journey even if you're not a DJ or a rapper. Vine calls him the Moses of music. But Bobby says, Moses couldn't do all that without Aaron. They are two sides of the same coin. Vine is flattered but just wants to put food on his table and get off from under the thumb of his PO. The next day, Greg has bad news. The injured employee is filing a workers' compensation claim, but he doesn't have insurance. He couldn't afford it. He already has 2 current loans. He'll go out of business if he loses out on his claim. Vine is floored about the situation, about how the homie said he heard that the sheets didn't even land on his leg, and his cousin did the same thing for the workers' compensation at a Walgreens. We hear the thoughts as Vine reads about workers' compensation information. He's really confused about the verbiage, herein and identification. What is that? He feels that, dang, you have to be bilingual in English. Vine is so engulfed about what he's reading, he declines an invitation from his girlfriend to join her in the shower. He's pissed that the workers' compensation info is confusing. He feels that it's done on purpose so the average person can't understand it. Nia says, my dad was never one for contracts. She always said that he thought that if 2 people looked each other in the eyes, they could work something out. Then Divine has an epiphany. Vine pays a visit to the same employee filing the fake claim against Greg. Dude is telling him, look, we're all struggling and I'm playing the game. You of all people should understand that. You're a hustler. Shoot, you should know about it when you slang rocks. Vine isn't having it, and says that filing that claim is not a hustle, it's BS. And that it'll mess up everything for all the felons working there. And Greg is the person that gives felons a chance. Divine convinces him in his own special way to drop the claim. Later on, Greg has more bad news to share. He says that dude filed the claim and he had to admit to the company that he didn't have insurance and they shut him down. He heard that Divine paid him a visit and told him that that street stuff doesn't cut it in the real world. He wishes him well on the second act of his life. Bobby listens to more music until Vine gets home and lets him know that he found his own place. Now he says, you don't have to worry about me being all in your way. He thanks him for taking care of him, feeding him, and just being a brother. He wants Vine to rethink getting more involved with this music journey. Bobby will be back for the rest of his things, but right now he has some things to take care of. Vine notices the reading material on the table, the ins and outs of the music business. Vine reads that the law is a language, but not a language that all people speak. There's a directorial focus on royalties and cross-collateral. Like a glove is displayed on the screen. There's voiceover lyrics from Sha, and we hear his mom plead with him to stay home and heal, and that he shouldn't be walking on that leg. His lyrics reflect his experience in the street, how his father was an addict since the age of 16, and his mom reminisces about how he's been rapping his entire life. About how when he was a kid in church, he even wrote a rap about Moses and the 10 plagues. Even though Sha said that he's cool, she wants him to take some money just in case. Sha is so determined to record, he even sees the man who shot him, but presses down his anger. Gary is still at his post spitting knowledge, as well as the Israelites right across from him. Sha tells Gary that he's on a different path and is open to knowledge and has even changed his name to Shala Raekwon. Gary says, man, that's good. A new name is a new life. Bobby is back in town and he should connect, but Raekwon says that he's already in the studio and he even has a big producer lineup. Back at Firehouse, Quan is mind blown to see his name reserved for a studio session. Fizz is ready to work. He's got some things lined up and coming up with G-Rap, but it hasn't dropped yet. He wants to hear what Quan has so far, and he loves the bars that he's spitting. He's like, all right, I got this track. He plays it, and Quan feels that it doesn't fit with the bars. Fitz is like, look, I'm a producer. Look, I had the same situation with Busta Rhymes. He didn't like a track, but then when he got in the booth, he made things happen. So just trust me. Just get in the booth. When Busta started rapping, then it fit like a glove. Quan gets in the booth and he makes the best out of the situation. Bobby hears that Quan is at the studio from his mom, and he listens to the new track. Quan wants to know what he thinks. Bobby's like, man, I'm loving the lyrics, but I just don't think the beat fits. And Quan is like, yeah, but this producer. Anyway, man, you back? Bobby's like, nah, I'm not back. We are back. He shows him a floppy disk, but has Sha written on the label and tells him, hey man, I don't go by Sha anymore. It's Raekwon. And with ease, Bobby pulls out a Sharpie, X's out Sha, and writes Quan. Do the math is displayed on the screen. Power walks and thinks to himself, and dude has 15 bags. There's probably 10 more bags stashed, and maybe he got a runner, but he probably doesn't have the supply and demand. He observes a hustle as a guy selling purses. And he's like, hey, man, bag for your girl, $100. But Power says, nah, man. So he offers the bag for $70. Power then thinks to himself, man, he dropped the price $30. And I only said a few words. People are really hustling themselves. Let's say I do give dude $50 for the bag, but he probably got the bag for $10 a pop. Now he probably feeling himself because he gonna make a profit of $45. But he'll need to sell 25 bags just to make a G. And how long will it take him to make that? As he continues to think, there's a little scuffle between Gary and the Israelites that gets the cops involved. Power is really feeling cocky, taking a walk, and he sees his car being towed. He takes some money out to convince the tower, hey man, how about you just take my car off the lift? But he's like, look, the vehicle's already on the towing truck. If you just hurry up and get back to the towing company, they probably won't even charge you a fee. But he gives him some money and says, look, can you at least have my car towed in Staten Island? The tower takes the money and he's like, look, be careful with my car. Power gets on the bus so he's not further delayed. The bus driver is Mook, but he's like, hey man, it's John. Power can't believe it and thinks, Mook driving a bus? It's like you going to the grocery store and then you see a famous basketball player bagging your groceries. But he asked him, look, Power, so what have you heard? Have you heard I was on this private island somewhere enjoying money? He's like, nah, I didn't hear that, man. But maybe this is all a front. That's what I think. You should be sitting on a couple of million. John tells him, look, man, I observed everything. And, I had to start thinking. I need to make my money stretch. I got family situations and the money that you think that I have, it ain't that. He wants to know what his Power gonna do. Just gonna hustle till he can't hustle anymore? Look, you can keep hustling, but you know what I think about? Health insurance, a pension plan. And it's better than being dead or in jail. A lady gets on the bus and he notices that she has purchased the same hustle bag that he saw earlier. Then Bobby gets on the bus and he tells Bobby, hey man, I heard that you beat a bid. You need to stick to that music. The odds are better. And he gets off the bus. Power continues to walk and he sees another hustler yet trying to sell the same bag. The words open wounds displays across the screen. Dennis contemplates lyrics and holds his son. He tells Cherie, look, the room is tight and we need to find our own place. Cherie agrees, but it's important that he goes back to New York with Bobby and work on his true craft, which is music. Dennis has reservations since Bobby's first record deal didn't go well, but she tells him, look, that's not stopping Bobby from trying again. The baby is too young to travel. She wants to stay with her mom and help her with the baby. And she knows that he wants to work on his music. So it's just the best thing for him to do is return to New York. So whatever gift that he has or whatever Bobby is working on can blossom. Dennis returns back home and he's happy to see his brothers. And they tell him, we're happy to see you, but we heard you got shot. Dennis shows that he only was given a scratch and that he's fine. And his brother jokes that, man, I don't see how they missed you and you got that big old head. And hopefully your son look like Cherie. They share some more brother moments, but they're excited to see Dennis. And they're like, man, we want to hear some bars. Go ahead and spit something. And Dennis, he has his reservations. But they're telling him, look, if you're supposed to be an artist, you're supposed to be ready at any given moment to spit something. He drops some bars and they're like, man, all right, man, that was dope. They want to hear more, but he tells them that he doesn't have any more lyrics and he needs to work more on it. Gladly, his brothers kept all of his rhyme books. His mom comes back home and he's happy to see that she's doing well and she's happy to see him. Unfortunately, she tells him about a welfare face-to-face and him being an adult, he can't stay at their apartment or they'll take away the money that they have. He assures that he'll only be there for a few more days and he'll make sure that he's out of Dodge as soon as the welfare people arrive. As Dennis and his brothers go to get ice cream, they listen to a Tribe Called Quest, but Dennis doesn't recognize it at first because it's the remix. His brothers wants to know, what do they play in Ohio? And he's like, man, all they playing is Cube and NC Breed. And they tell Dennis, well, that's nice and everything, but this D-Lover name that you got, it's gotta go. As a matter of fact, that's Power's vehicle being told. And he can't stand him. As they head home, they pass by the same artwork that Bobby passed by earlier in the episode. On the screen, we have Papa the Prince to Ruler. In his mind, Bobby continues to give letters, words, and definition. R is for ruler. Ruler is the nature of the black man. S is for self or savior, one's own being. Bobby meets up with Hassan, and it's the beginning and seeing a new place. Then Gary arrives. They rig the power to gas up the equipment, and while Gary tells him a story about the rift between him and the Israelites, Hassan tries to add in the detail, but he's like, man, you weren't even there. Like, you wasn't even there. How you gonna add details? You know, a son, he's like, hey, I wasn't there when Lincoln got assassinated, but I know he got blah, blah. Bobby says, man, I saw Power on the bus and nothing popped off, but he was just different. Bobby starts to play a track, and Gary and Hassan immediately start vibing to it. He tells them, hey, I don't go by that previous name. I got something different. R is for ruler. Z is for zigzag, zig. And A is for Allah. The RZA made that beat. Now Gary wants to change his name. Hassan wants to hop on the track, but RZA tells him, no, I got this for somebody else. It's all part of the plan for everybody. A plan that I've been thinking about for days. The ending scene shows Bobby painting over the word killer as the track continues. Ooh-wee, now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. Look, I wanted to sing the hook of that last track of the episode on this review, but I don't want to get a copyright strike, okay? Because YouTube is like super strict when it comes to singing a song, when it comes to posting a snippet of a song. But y'all know about Raekwon. Y'all know how he got on. Okay, look, let me stop. See, this is the excitement that I'm talking about. If you're a Wu-Tang fan, you know what's about to happen. But if you're new to the journey, you have to go in baby steps and learning everybody and learning the process. This is what I keep talking about. This is the blossom process that's beautiful, that I've just been trying to explain since season 1. And now it's making sense. Now you're understanding as the viewer why they are taking these baby steps to help everybody understand who is who, why names evolve the way that they did. It's very important. And I felt that doing a review, I had to go along with that process because you don't want to confuse anybody. I know why they got their names. I know that, but somebody that's 13 may not know that's watching this series. Okay, so be patient with this whole process, and I'm loving it, and I'm digging it all. Right, it's beautiful to see their hunger and how hungry they were, to see Vine being so inspired about also learning about the business and how he has such a crisp mind. And we've talked about talents and knowing your talent but not applying them in your life. If anything, while you're watching this series, if anything, you should be inspired to follow your dreams, right? You should be inspired to, no matter what it is, to at least try and attempt to follow what your art is, what your true talent is. Okay, so I inspire y'all to do that, and it's inspiring to me to continue to do what I do. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what that is. Make sure you follow me on Instagram so you can get sneak peeks and all of the details of what's going on in my personal life. All right, but back to the episode. I find it really intriguing that it's showing us salt grains of learning about the music industry early. Not only being able to be artists, but how can you be artists freely? For those of you who don't know anything about the Wu-Tang Clan, how their American story is so beautiful is them learning the business behind it before getting in too deep, like the experience that he had before, that Bobby had with the previous deal. He wasn't feeling the music. He wasn't feeling the imagery that was displayed in the Prince, Raheem, I can't even talk. In the Prince Raheem video, he felt that he wasn't digging it, but he had the pressures of people saying, this is what's gonna sell. Trust us. It's what's gonna. He knew deep down it's something that he didn't want to do, right? But he went through with it, trying to go forward in the industry. I mean, who wouldn't? But now it's a new face, and now it's a new understanding of learning about how can we not make this a mistake again? How can I protect my music? How can I protect the potential artists that may record over it? It's something that we're still seeing to this day. There was a salt grain of it when Quan mentioned, well, yeah, this is the beat. He knew that it didn't match, but he was like, this producer was telling me. And if you notice, he didn't finish. He stopped mid-sentence because he felt uneasy talking about it. Because then again, he's new and he doesn't want to, rock the boat on anything that's going to cause conflict. Or is he allowed to say anything kind of tippy-toeing around the situation? He saw the honesty of Bobby when he says, I'm loving the lyrics, but it doesn't match. Here Bobby is as a quote-unquote rookie to being a producer, but you have somebody, Ritz, who's worked with Busta Rhymes. So I could see how Quan was just like, well, this dude's work with Busta Rhymes, so clearly he knows what he's talking about. Let me get into the booth. So it's this unknowingly, blindly getting into something that you're just really not 100% sure about, and you're trusting other people's words. But with what Vine is learning through looking at contracts and verbiage, what Bobby is learning about the business, those are good things. So another thing to take from the writing is know the business about what you're getting into. Because you can have a craft, you can have a gift, but if you don't understand the profit behind it, you're going to get taken advantage of. And that's just business, and that's just the world that we live in. And verbiages and languages meant to keep barriers and walls to where people can't understand it, which is true. The same goes with anything you can think about when it comes to real estate, when it comes to redlining, when it comes to everything. I mean, food, anything you can think of, there's always some type of barrier to keep a box and that club of people and that cluster to only know about it, but not other people. If you get deeper into it and learn about it, there's a new world and another eye that's open to something that you didn't know before. So the evolution to RZA is beautiful. The evolution of Shotgun, using the word Method Man more. The realization of him, of Sha going to a new name of Raekwon and explaining what that is and knowing what that is. Everybody's having a different viewpoint, and it's beautiful. And it's this process of going through the struggle. And how bad do you really want it? Is it worth it to suppress things that really don't matter and just to stay focused? Quan going to the studio, knowing he got a busted leg, and it's just like, I don't care. I'm not even supposed to be walking on this, but I don't even care. He was just focused. Bobby walking with all of his material in this bag. You know what I'm saying? Everything that he's just put his heart and soul into. And he's approached by danger and possibly about to get robbed, all of his stuff. And it's this confidence and shield about, man, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get where I need to go. And even these people that are about to come in my way and possibly rob me, the blessing of the women walking by and there being a distraction to leave him alone. It's just all beautiful, whether you agree with the writing or not, whether you don't like the series. If anything, it should be an inspiration to at least learn from their story and how it applies to your life. And are you really giving it everything that you got? I mean, here's a perfect example. Even though I have a dream that I'm following, I'm working my 9 to 5, I'm expressing the love that I have about watching movie and television show reviews, and I'm editing and doing all of this stuff. It's something that I love to do because I love to share thoughts and ideas about shows and things that I'm watching, and also the comments about what other people think. It's just all a process. And even though you may be fatigued and tired at the end of the day, it's a fatigue that you don't mind. And if it's a fatigue that keeps you inspired to even do more the next day. I thought it was also kind of comical how a lot of people are just like, oh, the actor, what's his name? Ashton, I can forget his name, but the guy that's playing Bobby, the guy that's playing RZA, everybody's like, why is he talking like that? Well, why does he sound like he's a robot? And, it's just like, if he, first of all, he's an artiste, he's an actor, he's a trained actor. And I'm pretty sure he's looked at footage of Bobby's raspy's voice and how he kind of cuts in and out his choppy voice. And sometimes his voice can come off gritty and robotic, not all of the time, but it's like, every artist has a way that they're going to mimic. I mean, some people couldn't stand when Christian Bale was making Batman sound like this. Why is he sounding like that? And I can't even. People were like, "What the hell is that?" Of course, he took the criticism, and the next Batman, he changed up the voice a little bit. But he's not going to be the same as Michael Keaton or whatever. I mean, everybody has their own remix on a character, so chill. Leave my dude alone in his Bobby voice. Okay, some people don't like old dude and how he does Hassan's voice. Some people think it's just too over the top, and he can't. I mean, but it's like, look, it's television. Chill out. Are you so focused on that? You should be focused on, is he pulling off the character well enough to where you can understand what's going on? I mean, even I do my funny imitations about him. Baby, come on. I mean, that's terrible. But hey, hey, I'm not the one getting paid to do it. I wasn't there when he was assassinated, but I know he got. Chill. Stop being so just so crucial and just so harsh on these actors. They've been through a lot filming with the pandemic and pushback time slots of when they're gonna film. Productions were shut down. It's a lot of shows that have pressed forward with this, and I applaud them for doing the best that they could within a short period of time. So stay tuned, you guys, next week for the next episode. In the meantime, check out those other playlists because there's so many shows on this channel. It's ridiculous. Make sure that you check out Queen Sugar, those reviews. And also in the fall, next month, we have the new series starring Brandon Norwood, Eve, and several others called Empire. Make sure that you check that out. Also visit my Instagram so you can watch the trailer of the show. But it's going to be more than that. It's going to be more stuff coming. So stay tuned. Make sure you tell people about this channel. Make sure that you subscribe. I appreciate you watching, but make sure that you subscribe and you like this video. Subscribing and liking the video will give other viewers an opportunity, and it pops up in the feed of maybe something that they can potentially watch. It's important. Trust me, I want to get on here and say a few curse words, but I just choose to use this platform to where it reaches a larger audience. And if you're listening to it and you got some kiddos around or something like that, they're not going to hear anything harsh and vulgar. So you have the confidence in knowing that everything on this channel is family friendly. All right. So make sure you check out The Handmaid's Tale, watch Star Trek Picard on this channel. Just diversify your mind, man. Watch things that you usually wouldn't watch, and you may like it. All right. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye. Wu-Tang.